Hey, what's up YouTube? You know who I am. Today I got a new video, and this means it's a new video. And so, this one's gonna be a rant, I guess, maybe like a tips, and it's gonna be about trading. And I'm gonna give you guys some tips and pointers of how to trade, how to be a better trader, how to get those trades that you want, and how to get some good deals and shit like that. So let's get this started off. Alright, so the first thing you're going to need when you're trading is you're going to need cards, maybe, and maybe a binder. And it doesn't matter what kind of binder. I know people have those monster binders, people have ultra pro binders. Those are really cool. If you have the money, go ahead and spend it. But if you don't, just like a 3-ring binder with some sleeves in it, that's cool too. But don't have a tin full of cards or a pile of cards, because we don't want to look through that. It's much easier to do a binder, much easier to pull out, put away, stuff like that. Just more convenient for you and the person you're trading with. Next tip is like to have your binder in a certain order. I know a lot of people have their binders in monsters and then spells and then traps. Now that's cool, you can do that, a lot of people do that, and that's a very good way to do it. But no matter how you do it, make sure that you have your cards, the best cards you have, in the front of your binder. Now why I say this is because you want to catch people's attention real fast. It's kind of like an advertisement where you just want to, like, first second you're going to catch their eye and you're going to pull them into your binder. And even though the rest of it's shit, they'll still see this, and they'll still see the first few cards in your binder, and they'll be really happy. I used to have the shittiest binder. You can take a look at my other videos, but the best cards were in the front. And so when I open it, people go like, whoa, nice, and then they just don't care about the rest, and they're just, oh yeah, it's still good, whatever, you still got some good cards at the front. And so yeah, now why you do this is because when you're at locals, and this is the whole reason I'm doing this, is for you to trade at locals, not online. That I used to trade online, but it's just a lot of work, and you gotta pay for stamps and shit like that. It's just sending messages back and forth. It's just a big pain. And so I don't do that anymore. I just trade it at my locals. And so what you do when you ask someone for their binder, and they ask you for your binder, people hear that. And when people hear that, sometimes it's like a crowd, or like one person that follows you guys and takes a look at your binder. And what happens to me a lot, I do that sometimes too, where I hear someone ask for their binder, I would kind of go to them and just look at the binder while they're looking at it too. And so those people that aren't really like looking at it, they're just spectating. So they would look at it, they see the first few pages, they're like, oh cool, maybe I'll stick around. And they're gonna see the first cards in your binder, which are the good ones, and the ones that you want to get rid of, and the ones that have some good value, and the ones you want to trade. If you start with, like, let's say the bad cards are at the front and the good ones are at the back, they'll see it and they'll get bored, and they'll think you don't have anything good, and then they'll walk away when the person's not even done with the binder. And that happens a lot. People just walk away. But if you're actually physically looking at the binder and you're not a spectator, you don't want to just go halfway through the binder, just not look at it anymore and walk away, because that's rude. You don't want to be rude when you're trading. You want to be nice. Be a nice guy. Get to know their name. Get to be friends with them. Maybe that's another way. That's another way to make friends. Is it's a good icebreaker just to say, oh, can I see your binder? So everybody should have a binder. Even if it's shit or if it's good, I think everybody should have one. Why not? Okay, so I wrote some tips when I was on the bus. And so when I was a noob, let's say when I first started this game, my binder was shit and I didn't have much good cards. So what happened was, I saw this guy have a card that pretty much no one else had. It was very rare that people would have it. And back then, it was like 3 years ago, when it was like a Trigodia, and it was Ultra, and it was the only print of that card. So when I saw it, it was like, whoa, I've never seen anyone else have this card, and I need this card for my deck. So I'm like, whoa, I need that card, dude. I've been looking for this forever. This card's great, man. I want it. Dude, just give it. I'll do anything. Man, come on. Just give it to me now. Oh. Okay, don't be like that, okay? Do not do that. Whenever you see a card that you like, just chill. Just say, value. Just say that. And then, so that way, you don't seem desperate. And when you seem desperate, people smart would overvalue that card, knowing that you want it so badly. And so that happened to me, but I was a kid, so obviously I got outplayed. And Nowadays, I'm the one doing that. I'm the one out playing people, and no, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna share this with you guys because I don't want you guys getting scammed, and that's not cool. Everybody hates getting scammed, and so yeah, you don't want to be overexcited about cards that you see because that will happen. Okay, this is more about like buying cards instead of trading cards. You know, if you, a lot of people buy, I buy sometimes, and what you do is you ask for your value. You go, what usually people do is you point at the card and say value. They give you a value. Now if you're buying cards, don't throw the cash right on the table once you hear that value. If you say cash value after you say value, usually it'll be a lower price, and maybe like $5 or $10 lower, and that's money you're saving. So if you just throw the cash right on the table right when they give you that value, like that's not good, because you can probably, like, more than 50% of the time they will give you a lower value when you say cash value because it's cash. You know, the ban list kind of just happened, and it's always good to get cards that are on the ban list, like Colute and shit like that, but it's also good to go get cards that are similar to that, like Blackwing Synchros. You know, Lumina is at 3, so you can get Judgment Dragons. Get those really early on in the format, and maybe they'll go up in price. Someone will top with them, or someone will want to build that deck because of the ban list and because cards have been good. So you're gonna have those cards once you get them early on, and then you'll have trade bait, because trading is all about trade bait. If you don't have any trade bait, then you have nothing to trade. Another tip is saying, like, don't be afraid to ask them, like, oh, could you do this value instead? Like, let's say they give you a value of 20 on a card. Like, you can ask, be like, oh, can you do, like, can you just do it for this card, or can you do it for 17 or 15? Something like that. That could work, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that sometimes works. It kind of works. If you're a nice guy and you're nice about it, it'll work for sure. And probably the final tip is when you're trading multiple cards, let's say there's like a playset or something, they give you a value, you can make up your own value. This happens like when I want 2 cards and they're both valued at 10, I can say, could you do 2 for 15? Or like 2 for 15, and I'll throw in a small card. That's a good phrase, just can I throw in a small card? You know, get used to saying that a lot, you know, it works. Bring some commons along with you, and you're good, and you'll get your trades, and you're good as gold, or whatever that saying is. So yeah. Okay, that's the video, guys, and if you liked it, please leave comments down below saying what you want me to talk about next in my rants. And I decided to do this, and I'm kind of out of ideas. So what do you want? Tell me, and I'll do it. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and favorite, okay? Thank you, guys. Peace.